Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Home Selling Tips. In today's episode, we'll talk about how to predict when to sell a house. There's a lot of factors that go into this, and in today's video, we'll give you 4 factors, 4 considerations, things to think about before you get ready to list your home to predict if it's the right time or not for you. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help. My contact information is in the show more description below and always on the backside of each and every video. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and lead into how to predict when to sell a house. Now, first of all, it's pretty important to know that no two markets are the same. The market of 10, 20 years ago is not the market of today. And this is going to be true whenever this video is 10 and 20 years old and people might be seeing it then. No two markets are exactly the same. You have sellers markets, you have buyers markets, and you have normalized markets. Important to understand that whenever you're in a seller's market, you're generally looking at 5 months or less of home sellable inventory, resale inventory that's available. When you're in between 5 and 7 months, you're in a more of a normalized market or balanced market, if you will. And when you start tipping over the 7 months of home inventory in your local marketplace, you're going much more into a buyer's market. So depending on what market you're in, number one, is going to depend on whether the time is right for you to sell your house. And going back to no two markets are exactly the same, you also have a host of other factors from interest rates to ease of getting credit to what's going on in the world. And that also impacts how people buy and sell homes. Now that brings us into step number 2, which is actually interest rates that fluctuate. Now the rates that we've been seeing for the last several years, you know, they've been anywhere between 4 and 5%, sometimes less in different cases. Those are extremely hot and attractive rates. Now anytime the Federal Reserve says, hey, we're going to increase the rate, expect more buyers to jump in because they're recognizing, oh, we better get in while the getting is good and we still have enough purchasing power before this interest rate diminishes our ability to purchase a home at the price point that we want. We better jump in now before it's too late and we have to get less home and pay more money for it. So anytime there's a rate fluctuation, you'll see that. Also, whenever you see lending that's eased a little bit, you'll also see more buyers getting into the market. Let's just hope and pray that we don't get back into the situation we were in 2008 to 2010 timeframe with the damage that was going on in the years that led up to that with some ridiculous loans that shouldn't have ever been issued. So that brings us into the third point. Seasons change. You know, we go around this beautiful thing called the sun, and as we do that, seasons change. It's important to note that conventional wisdom would have you to believe that the best time to sell your home is in the spring and summer. Conventional wisdom in many parts of the country, especially since the advent of the internet, are wrong. And the reason that it's wrong is because today's home buyers are doing a lot of online shopping. If you're thinking about selling a home, not only are you researching and watching this video and learning how to predict when the best time is for you to sell your house, but also about where you're going to move if you're planning on buying another house. You're online right now searching, aren't you? And you know, depending on the time of the year, people are going to be doing this 24/7, no matter what time of the year it is. The actual stronger selling seasons are generally going to be in the times that most people may not be open to selling their home, which would be the fall and winter months, and mainly because of the holiday season. Now, a lot of people, because of the conventional wisdom is to sell in the spring and the summer, they miss out on the wonderful opportunity to do so in the fall and winter. When they do so in the fall and winter, because everybody is thinking, oh, we're going to put our house on the market in the spring, we're going to put our house on the market next summer. Well, what happens to your home inventory? It just explodes. It means the competition is more fierce in between sellers. And if you want competition to be fierce in between buyers and get the best price for your home, then you want to consider doing that and listing your home in the fall and winter months, because there's going to be less people putting their home in the market. If there's less people putting their home in the market, there's less competition. Your buyers in the marketplace are generally trying to get into their home before one of the 2 major holidays, or actually before the new year, and it could actually help out your tax situation depending on what you are, if you are able to close on your house before the new year too. So there's a lot of things to consider that go into when is the best time and how to predict when is going to be the best time for you to sell a house. So what I like you to do is consider these 3 points that I've given you so far, and then the 4th point is understanding that the home down payment isn't everything anymore. What that means is that I've seen it. You know, I've had people contact me. They get approved for a mortgage. They go through all the steps. They get a bona fide loan pre-approval letter where their income, their assets, their credit, their employment have all been verified. They have the money for the down payment. They have money for the buyer closing costs. They have moving expense money. They have a plan. but for whatever reason, they're not pulling the trigger. There's normally something underneath the surface that keeps them from pulling the trigger. It's not, sometimes it might be, oh, we just haven't found the right house yet. And yes, they may be being a little bit too picky or choosy, but consider this fact. I mean, depending if where their job is and where they're commuting to, if their commute is 1, 2, 3 hours away, it may not be worth it to buy a house just because they could, because whenever they start doing their monthly budget calculations, it may cost more money to buy a house, even though it's less expensive than wherever the job may be located. It may be less expensive, but if they're commuting 3 hours a day one way, then that's a 6-hour commute a day. Then you got to start looking at your quality of work-life balance and everything else, and then not to mention the rising fuel rates and everything else across the country. So that might be a reason why. Now, more commonly than that is people normally aren't telling us everything as real estate agents. I mean, they got personal issues going on, and yeah, you know, the more information we know as a real estate agent, either in helping someone sell a home or buy a home, the better we can assist them. But there's some things that are just really personal to people, and they should be. And maybe the real estate agent obviously is not the qualified professional to help them out. If they're having issues with their marriage, they might need a marriage counselor or something like that. Sometimes a relationship is on the rocks, and even though they can qualify, there's something going on right there in between the husband and wife, or the situation that they're involved in, that they're not comfortable with moving forward with such a large purchase. Another reason is if they think they might have an employment issue coming up where they may go unemployed, or there's an issue, or there's talk about a job relocation opportunity. You know, there's so many different variables that go on in people's lives about why they may not pull the trigger. Now, how does that impact you whenever you're selling your home? Well, it impacts you because you have different buyers that are in the market and for different reasons. And depending on how many buyers are in the market at a given time, are going to help influence and shape when is the best time for you to sell your home. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's most important for you to be clear on your reasons why you want to sell your home, and know why you are selling your home, and write that down. I ask you to write it down because whenever things get a little bit difficult, sometimes you'll have your notes to go back and to examine and re-examine your motivations and your reasons why you're selling your home, and what's most important to you about selling your home. Now, a really good question to consider is, you know, if everything worked out exactly how you wanted it when it came time to sell your home, what would that look like? And describe it. Write it down, put that positive energy into the universe, write it down, put that positive energy out there and share it around, and tell your real estate agent. And if you need help finding a trusted real estate advisor in your area that's going to be one of the top agents, the Certified Residential Specialist, that's the designation you want to be looking for, CRS or RRC, CRS being a Certified Residential Specialist, and you need help finding one of those in your local area, give me a call. Or shoot me an email. Tell me about your situation a little bit. I'm happy to help. I'm going to put my contact information up right now. If you have, you want to share your experiences about how you predicted to sell your house and how that worked for you, please go ahead and do so in the comment section below. If you want to send me an email and you just want to say hi, I'm happy to hear from you. I always enjoy hearing from you. And if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. In between now and next time, I'd like to wish you and your family all the love, wealth, abundance, and happiness in the world. Looking forward to seeing you again real soon. Enjoy a wonderful day.